Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. A popular crypto chart analyst says that XRP is gearing up to revisit roughly the $2 range. Now, that, of course, before inevitably XRP will smash through its all-time high and enter a new realm of price discovery. But part of the reason this particular analysis is interesting to me is because this comes from somebody who I guess I don't happen to highlight on the channel too terribly frequently, but I do know that he is not a fan of XRP, and he is acknowledging that it's going to see much higher prices. And so when this happens, when stuff like this happens from people that I don't really like XRP, but they're saying, yeah, it's going to be worth way more, catches my attention, right? And sometimes you get it on the flip side where you just have ridiculously low price expectations. But in this case, I get the sense that this person's being intellectually honest. That's my suspicion here, so I thought I'd highlight it. And also, I want to highlight a short Twitter thread that will show you the adult children that you are competing against in the open market. The adult children who have very little to no patience regarding when they want their Lambos. They want it now. I can't be petted. I can't be forced to wait longer for my moon. And this is what it sounds like in my head, at least when I read some of these comments from these people. But they're just sharing these ideas like something is clearly amiss. My cryptocurrency is not worth way more than when I purchased it right now, and because it's not moving on my timeline, being the adult child that I am, it means there's something wrong and I will exit as soon as I can, even when it just goes up a little bit. Or maybe they'll just get out of it now because of reasons, you know? So this is what we're working with here. Look, before we go any further, I do want to be clear, I don't have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who makes YouTube videos, but it's just a fun hobby. That's all that's going on here. Always want to be transparent about that. But as I record this, XRP is at $1.13. You've got Bitcoin at $47,178. So clearly the market's in a bit of red, at least at the moment that I'm recording this. Nothing horrendous, but even these little movements down, there's a certain percentage of humans that felt supremely concerned about this, let's say, supremely emotional, and even just this little bit to the downside. There's some humans out there like, oh my gosh, I must get out right now. Like this, there's always, and this is who you're competing against, by the way, people that emotionally respond like this. That's why I feel like it's possible that like most people, if they could, and this is if they could arm themselves with data so that they understand how the market behaves and then not emotionally respond, I feel like perhaps it's the case that most people, most adults, actually could make truly life-changing money investing in crypto. But it's like, can you make yourself aware of all this data that says it's stupid to react emotionally? And if you have that data, can you actually, even if you feel emotions, not let the emotions dictate whether you buy or sell? Can you let the data and logic determine whether or not you want to buy or sell or hold? For so many people, the answer is clearly no. Clearly no. The market cap for the asset class, it's just a little shy of 2.1 trillion. Bitcoin dominance at 42.29%. And crypto fear and greed index, we're still in greed though, despite being down a little bit at the time of recording this. Like I said, we're at 73 out of 100. That is greed, and that happens to be exactly where it was just yesterday. And so take a look at this tweet. This caught my attention. This comes from chart analyst Credible Crypto. And he's mentioning a number of cryptocurrencies, including XRP, and he's basically indicating, hey, here's where I bought stuff. Here's why it's important to hold. That's effectively the message. But here's what he wrote. So he's talking about how he bought sushi at 70 cents, H bar at 3 cents, Link at under $3, XRP at 18 cents, Solana at $1.50, and Ocean at 11 cents, and more. So those are just some of the ones. And then he wrote, believe me, I have sat on coins that, quote, aren't moving, end quote, many times when no one wants to buy. 10x later, people are clamoring to get in. Know what you hold and be patient. That's it. And this is what I'm talking about. People cannot do this. And it just, in the sake of transparency, I've mentioned this before, but like the cheapest I've ever purchased XRP was when it got down to 15 cents. I still think my average buy-in, if I had to guess, having not actually crunched the numbers, I think it's about 25 cents. But the cheapest I bought it was 15 cents. And so think about that. I bought it at 15 cents, and I was patient, and there were so many impatient people over the years. Oh my God, XRP, it's not moving, this or that. And then in April this year, it ran up to about $2. And as I record this again, it's at $1.13. Do you think I'm sad that I was down on my XRP investment for most of the last few years? Or do you think that I'm an actual adult despite my Moon Lambo channel with a silly-ass name? Despite that, do you think maybe I'm being more of an adult than some of these people and recognizing, oh yeah, I'm buying something, we're in a bear market, it's probably going to trend downward, probably going to be down in my investment for a long period of time before it goes up? Because that's what I told myself, and I believed it. And I was right, and it has moved up, and we're still in a bull market, and I still believe it's going to be worth way, way, way more. I still even suspect that, more likely than not, the current price of XRP is going to look dirt cheap by the time this is all said and done, just looking at historically how cryptocurrencies in general have behaved. But the idea that it's not moving right now when I want it to go because I want my Lamborghini now. Okay, adult child, knock it off. Knock it off, adult child. And so take a look at this just to highlight this a little bit further. And because again, be aware of this. This is who you're competing against. Seriously, we're all like, it's an interesting way of looking at it. Like, because think about it. If you're selling something, just in a general sense, people have various reasons, but in a general sense, that's a vote against the market. And even if you don't necessarily think that this is the height of the price, you're saying, okay, for me at least, this is where I want to get out. But somebody else is taking the opposite bet if they're purchasing that from me. They're thinking, no, this is going to go much higher. And so they're like, these are the people, though, that you're betting against. And so the people that are selling XRP at these levels before the biggest leg up for this market cycle, I suspect that they're going to ultimately regret it. Now, they should do whatever they want. I'm not telling anyone to buy or sell or hold. I'm just sharing with you my personal opinion. I can be wrong too, but I do feel strongly about my position here. And so somebody named To the Moon tweeted out the following just about 5 hours ago. Every bag of mine mooning except H-bar. So sad, credible crypto. And then you take credible crypto chart analyst. And think about this too, and I mentioned this the other day. This is so worth, like, looking at it from this perspective, it's so worth it. There are over 10,000 cryptocurrencies on the planet. How many different cryptocurrencies do you hold? Is it like 5 or 10 or 20 or 30? Or if you're insane, then some of you would be like over 100 maybe, but most people don't do that. Most people don't even have 100, right? And so if the market moves in tandem and everything's going to go parabolically to the upside, then most of the time when you're seeing that coins are going up, whether it's on social media or in the news, more likely than not, it will not be something that you hold. And then you're getting hammered emotionally, but everything's going up and mine's not. But that's why I'm like, okay, let's not be adult children. Like, let's recognize that everything goes, and it feels like that. The reason it feels like that is because you don't own most of the coins in existence. So even if they're all going to go, most of the time you're seeing this stuff and it beats you down emotionally, it's not going to be something that you hold. But eventually, for the people that are patient, they find that the market truly is cyclical, which I'm going to highlight more in just a moment. I got something from the blockchain backer I wanted to share with you on that. But it is true, and that is how it works. And so Credible Crypto responded to that and wrote, if you know what you hold, you wouldn't be sad right now. Patience. And then you have somebody else that jumped in, named Carl, and he's also not happy with this cryptocurrency H-bar. And he wrote, I am holding 237,000 H-bar, and as soon as it hits $1, I am out. Is seriously underperforming. Is actually disappointing, to be honest. So that's the tweet. I've heard this about every crypto under the sun, including XRP. There's always somebody that's going to approach it like this. And so think about this. He's saying it's underperforming right now. So for him to be happy, what would it have to have done right now? So it would have had to have been moving upward on his timeline, his magical little timeline. And it's not seriously underperforming unless it's worth way more than it is now. But if it's worth way more than it is now, then where the hell's the opportunity? It'd be, at a minimum, substantially diminished, would it not? Like, look, XRP, as much as I believe it's going to be worth way more than it in the future than it is today, is it better to buy it today at 113, or would it have been better to have dollar cost averaged over a span of years and buy it, like as is the case with me, as low as 15 cents? And so it's like, my gosh, yes, you do have to go through that, and your investment's down if you're going to be buy during a bear market, dollar cost averaging in, fine. But this idea that his H-bar holdings are underperforming because it's not on his timeline, and because it's not worth more right now, that's a very unsophisticated way of looking at the market. It really is. And then somebody named Alterco responded, this is the third person in this thread now, echoing the same sentiment, wrote, absolutely right, sorry, but it's starting to sound like hopium now. And again, so this is who you're competing against, not just H-bar holders. There are these people that hold every single cryptocurrency on the planet, and they do not get the bigger picture. This is your competition. Just be aware of this. And so then somebody, voice of reason here, named S-Gams wrote, "No patience, sheesh." So that's the voice of reason, actually. And then Carl jumped back in and wrote, "Patience is becoming a quick answer to avoid stating the fact H-bar is seriously underperforming. It makes 0 sense, this great asset still trading at 25 cents. This is not FUD. I am stating the obvious. Let's be reasonable about this." So let's pause right here. You understand, like, the vast majority of humans out there are not making buying and selling decisions based on fundamentals. You guys know that, right? And so he's living in this world where he must think the opposite is true. Like, why would such a great coin like HBAR be underperforming like this? I'm telling you that I've heard the same stuff from XRP. Why all the good news with XRP? The real world adoption has actual utility. It's blazing fast. Why is it low? Well, there are a lot of reasons we could talk about, but a big one also is that it's not about utility. It isn't. The market just moves in tandem. It's unsophisticated. That part is. That part is unsophisticated because most retail speculators are unsophisticated. Which is why, for me, it's easy to compete against them because all I have to do is, after I buy, all I have to do is nothing. Absolutely nothing. Let them emotionally feel this stuff, make buying and selling decisions, and I'm going to do nothing. That's why I can beat them. That's it. It's not hard. And then Credible Crypto jumped back in and wrote, "Just because an asset is underperforming now doesn't mean it won't overperform tomorrow. You have to position yourself before the sparks start flying and base your decision to invest on what we know. If you understand the fundamentals, you would not be saying what you are now." And fundamentals, I do believe that they will matter sufficiently in the future. And there's a reason that, for instance, XRP has been in the top 10 for the entirety of its lifespan. It's because there are enough people that bump it up to get it up. And I've talked about this before, but that doesn't mean that, it doesn't mean that most people have sufficiently actually investigated every aspect of XRP or HBAR or cryptocurrency. Most of the money is just stupid money flowing in and bidding up because they don't know what they're doing. It's just irrational humans. And so, yeah, these coins are to some degree where they are fine because of fundamentals, but that's a very small percentage of the reason here. And so it's better to just understand that the market moves in tandem and just be able to be patient instead of being an adult child, basically here. And take a look at this. Just to highlight that further, here's a tweet from the blockchain backer, which linked to his most recent video, which I checked out. And he wrote here, "The gigantic rotation in altcoin market, an XRP price chart in 2017, Bitcoin retrace battle." And so look, the blockchain backer highlighted how historically money has cycled through crypto markets. Look, there are market leaders, and as those leaders hit their all-time high, people begin selling, and then, wouldn't you know it, the money flows into other coins that haven't taken off yet, and then they rally. This is how things have unfolded in the past. Do you think humans will behave differently this market cycle? I do not. And it doesn't mean there's a guarantee, and the blockchain backer was acknowledging that too, and I'll always acknowledge that. I don't pretend to know any of what I'm saying for sure. I'm seeing pretty much the same type of behavior right now in today's market as I saw in 2017. And it's a bunch of very impatient people, don't know what the hell they're doing. This market's still moving in tandem. People don't seem to sufficiently care about fundamentals, and there we are. It's strikingly similar. Like, the opportunity is still clearly here as far as I'm concerned. And then there was this article from the Daily Hodl talking about breakout targets for various coins, including XRP. And so this highlights the individual who is not a fan of XRP. And that's fine. Like, if somebody doesn't like XRP, they don't suddenly become my enemy because I am not an adult child, and I don't require people to like the same things as me, including cryptocurrencies, in order for me to like and respect them. Same on religion and politics. I don't look down on people that have different perspectives than me. I just don't. That's stupid. Now, if they're jerks to me, that's different, but then it's not because of that. It's because they don't like my stance on something in life, and they're being the adult child then, right? But no, it's fine. So, so the reason, to be clear, that I was highlighting that he doesn't like XRP is because it's fascinating that he's bullish on XRP despite not really being a fan. And so the piece reads as follows. Prominent crypto strategist and trader Scott Melker is keeping a close eye on 7 altcoins that he says are threatening to take out their immediate resistance levels. In a new strategy session, Melker tells his 83,000 YouTube subscribers that he's watching the price action of Ethereum as it looks to exhaust sellers at $3,330. And just for there we go. Just for the sake of highlighting where it's at right now, $3,250 at the time of recording. So that's Ether. Let me jump down to the part where we get into XRP though. Next up is XRP. which is the crypto strategist, which the crypto strategist says is gearing up to ignite a rally as long as it holds a key level. And here's the quote: "If XRP holds $1.10, we should expect to be heading up to the $1.50 to the $1.70 region. Ultimately, almost $2. After that, we can figure it out." So he still thinks it's going to be going to the upside. And just within the last 24 hours, the lowest it's gotten happens to be $1.10, which is the level that he says must be held if we're going to see it in the short term jump up to about $1.50. And it happens when it happens. And so for me, I'm just going to continue to be an adult and be patient, right? That's it. I'm not going to be like, it's not worth more when I want it to be worth more. I want my Lambo now. No. Stop it, adult child. Stop it. Right? I'm just saying. It's hard for me to relate to these people. It's sort of like, I conceptually get it. I get it. But even when I jumped into crypto, I never behaved like that. Oh, it's not going to what I want to do. No, I was always like, I kid you not. Right? And I guess it makes me an outlier, at least on this aspect. But I was always a long-term thinker. When I jumped into crypto in November 2017, and a week after I jumped into crypto, I bought XRP for the first time. I had a very long-term mindset. I was like, oh, well, maybe it's worth more in like 5 or 10 years or whatever. I don't know what's happening. And I had no idea that weeks later, like XRP and the entire altcoin market would go on the biggest tear in the history of the asset class. It just went up. Crazy time for somebody to jump in. But still, it was a neat experience. But still, I believe that's what's coming here again. And so, like, for me, it really always has been long term, because that's, like, when it comes to investing in stocks, and data shows it's true in crypto as well. Like, that's a key differentiator. The people that can remove emotion and think sufficiently long term. Like that's what the data shows from my perspective. That's my humble opinion. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'm feeling good. I'm just gonna keep being patient, because that's a huge part of why I think I'm going to defeat my competitors out there, the adult children. And to the rest of you, I mean, and by the way, kudos to all of you for being here. Not just because, I don't mean that just because you're on my channel. Thank you, I appreciate the support. But the truth of the matter is, like, so many people have lost like any sort of patience for crypto already, just from May, when we saw that retracement downward when Bitcoin hit, about 65,000, got down ultimately to about 29,000. Like, a huge number of people just in crypto in general, they're like, I'm out. I no longer have, like, their attention span is that of a goldfish. It's like 8 seconds. And so kudos to you for being here and still paying attention, because, like, so many people, I'm not kidding you not, like, they just exited the market. Now, of course, once things heat up even more, there will be the mania phase, and they'll be back along with a whole bunch of new people. But what a silly way to approach investing, right? I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.